everybody. So, welcome back. Ready to Love is back. To be
Yes.
honest, I missed it.
Salon, to use some words from a famous song, Lord, it done took me some time to get to the place where I want to be. Oh,
Uh,
oh, and I'm ready to
to
love.
love.
Let's do what the hell we do. Oh, the
So,
gang's all
welcome.
here.
So, welcome back, everybody. Joining me, we have Braylon, Q,
Hey, hey.
and a Quincy.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey everybody.
Indeed.
And we back. We back.
Back at it
So,
again, people.
we're going to go straight into it while I'm adding Instagram, anyways. So, we had 10 new people. I'm
Hmm.
actually happy with the way they did it this time around.
I
We're going
agree.
to
I
have
agree.
two
Yes.
mixers because I think in the previous seasons, you won't see some people. They will only pick the main people they want to show you guys. So at least since they reduced it to like 10, I got to know everybody and I've already started dating some people. So
You say you're not liking
Yeah.
people already?
Lord Jesus, Salon. It's the
I
first
mean, at
Listen,
episode.
I'm gonna say it hasn't even started and we already there. Okay.
Lord.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not look, not look,
100%.
not, look, to use a word, not being combative on the first episode. Lord help.
But yeah, let's go through the cast for people who do not know who they are basically. Because I'm sure that most of us have forgotten their names. So I decided that we're going to go through the cast. So we had four females for some
Hmm.
reason best known to them, and we're supposed to have six men, but we got five.
Hmm.
So we're going to start off with the women. We had April, Mika, such a pretty woman, Alexis, and Koshia. Then for the men, we had Dominic, William,
Hmm.
Will, Damonte, Laron, and Glenn. Glenn was the one who ran away from us.
I hate he didn't show up. He was shut it down, damn it. Good looking dude, man. Sensible. He looks like a good choice. Just saying.
I mean, whoever picked him, for
he
real.
definitely could have shook some stuff up. So yeah, definitely sad he didn't. At least give us something.
Janelle, don't go after this fish. This is a big
Ah,
bass
Come,
you can't
come
handle,
on.
okay?
ah.
What? I'm sorry. Did that come out my mouth? Well, listen, you said that you did like somebody already. I'm getting into my we getting into the groove, Salon. That's the first episode.
Oh, I like him.
Ah.
Just saying.
Yes, you do.
Okay, I've added Instagram.
Okay.
But what did you guys think about him not coming? What? Let me first give my opinion. First, I felt like it was very evil of them to show the whole scene where he was panicking. I don't know, maybe for the first time I was empathic, maybe because he's a fine man, but I just felt really bad for him because why are you trying to embarrass him? There was no
Right.
need to do those 100 takes. It was very unnecessary. You could have just shown us like one scene. I mean, you showed us him coming there, then you have to show us the entire confessional scene. I'm like, why?
Mhm.
Right. And let
That
me
I
and let
feel
me
like
say
that was to put the stamp on him not being ready to love. It's like, okay, not just could he not get out of the car, but this is why. Listen,
Great
how
point.
this is how he was in the confessional. He was unprepared. He was not ready to love then, and so we had to show it in a whole. I don't feel
Great
like it
point,
was like
Keisha.
malicious. I just
Mhm.
feel like honestly, it's editing. What else was they gonna do with him? He didn't
Great.
get out the car. He
Great
didn't really
point.
give them anything to actually present. So they had to use and work with what they had. And I feel like that's what they had.
That was
No,
a great. That was a great point. Go ahead, Brandon.
no, and let me say this. We are all hosts up here. For damn sure, we're the best at what we do. No doubt about it. But Tommy, host to host, brother, what you should have done is first of all, I know that you're not the only person down in Fort Worth, Texas. There is a skeleton crew there that is there throughout production. What should have happened is you give the call first, and then you go to him, figure out what's going on, and then this will have been a great brother moment in the first episode. Hey, ladies, sorry about this. I need the fellas to come through. And y'all go talk to this brother about why he's nervous. And
Mm-hmm.
that could have been a great what. Hey, listen, listen. That would have been a great way for the guys to get to know each other in a way that maybe we haven't seen before. Because then guess
Um,
what? That would have been a great way for Glenn to come in. And not to mention it could have been a conversation starter.
I
Host to
mean, they could
host.
have
He didn't
sent
have
But
to
you.
do that, but
but hold on, the thing about that, Braylon, listen here, I love you to pieces, but no. If these men are in a competition and they are trying to get the women, I don't see them wanting to add another man. No, they're going to try to keep it as minimal as possible. They also know that if this man comes in, they have an even more better chance of being eliminated. So why would you go try to help out another man to come in and possibly take your spot? Like,
To
I'm,
show you are the man.
yeah.
no,
I mean, it would be great if it was like a brother bond, but like this is a competition. I wouldn't see that being like a,
To piggyback off of Gigi, I really see that the theme of the show is changing off of that first episode. Um, through different conversation, even through deliberation, the topic was who's ready to love. And love,
right,
you know what I'm saying, that it takes on so many different complexes as to the fact of, are you willing, or do you have your stuff together to love? Are you available emotionally to love? You know what I'm saying? So saying that you're
right.
ready to love is saying I have my I am healed. You know what I'm saying? I've been through the process personally to say, hey, this is my finished product and I'm ready to love somebody. You know what I'm saying? Now, when my man didn't show up, you know what I'm saying? He was pretty much saying, hey, I'm not ready for this process. I'm not ready to love right now. So I really feel like him not showing is a part of the theme of the show, like changing, like showing people who are physically, emotionally, and mentally ready to love. You know what I'm saying? So him not showing up really just adds to the show.
No, and I definitely do agree with that. I think that, in season 8 it was more of a mismatch, and for Make a Move it was trying this was the show for Make a Move, let's just be real. But I
Mm-hmm.
also do agree with you that I think the caliber of the show is finally coming into its own,
Mm-hmm.
because now it's like, okay, now we have real people. Because at the end of the day, this is reality TV, so they had to bring it. And listen, I
Mm-hmm.
know that that wasn't going to happen,
Mm-hmm.
but that's just y'all know I'm a TV host at nature. So
Mm-hmm.
I bring that emotionality into it. So that's why I would have done, but I do agree it is a competition. But still, with what we heard about reality TV, it doesn't hurt to have a heart sometimes. But I agree with what y'all are saying as well.
Yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, shoot, yeah, you know what I'm saying. That would really have been heartwarming to see. You know what I'm saying? But like she was saying, it's a TV show, and some of them guys happy he not there. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
puts better odds for them. You know, we put
Yeah.
them in a better situation because all of them wanted to win that competition with during the
Yeah,
TV during. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
shoot,
absolutely.
And it might have been different if there were actually like more. You know how they normally have the 20. If all of them was there, possibly, because then they had more to choose from. There
Correct.
wasn't as much of a competition. But when you have it where there's only 4 women, there's more men to women, the ratio, like, no, why would you add another man? That's just going to make it even harder.
Right.
But
No,
yeah,
I'm
if it was
I'm
like
agreeing with
all
you.
of them, I could definitely see that, and that definitely would have been a great look for them to go out there and at least a couple of them or one of them to say, hey, you know, even Tommy. If Tommy would have found out about it, hey, let me go out here and talk to him real quick. Let me see what's going on. let me bring him in and, let's work on this. Let's at least go to the mixer, see how you feel after that. If you don't want to, you can self eliminate. Give it a choice like that. There were so many
Right.
avenues that could have been done, but still, we had what we saw is what they worked with and
Absolutely.
what
No
they
doubt
had.
about it. No doubt about it. We all know Solana would have been the PA to go get him though. We all know this by now. Yes, we do.
Lana would have rolled back off with him. Okay, I don't.
Wait a minute. Wait. Look.
Listen
Look. Wait.
here, they
Wait.
would have left together. Okay, I think they both would have self-eliminated. All right.
Hang on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I gotta come on camera for this example. Page to Solana. Solana. No. No. Braylon, you know what's Tommy? I'm trying to take your damn job. I don't know where Solana is. Oh, she's gone. She's fully gone. Oh, okay, cool. All right. Well,
Wait a second. We're missing a guy too. Wait a second. Where's Glen? Where's Wait a second. Glen?
Well,
Okay.
y'all. It looks like we have one of our official couples. We'll see y'all at the reunion.
Real,
We would have not let how they did in the fourth episode told all the business just filthy. We would just seen them on camera, just on Instagram everywhere.
Hey, next week he gonna be on the podcast. Meet my family. Meet my family.
Listen at this.
All that they gonna start their own panel.
Listen,
Lana, honey, you went out, but we said that you would have left off with Glenn if you had the choice to go get him. You would have left.
Would have got your mic is muted.
Muted. If he was years younger, definitely.
We would have had the panel exclusive, y'all. Damn.
I mean, he's so fine. I like him.
Hey, what the other girl said? He tickle your pickle.
that part I'm like, no, I mean you got juice for sure, but it's not coming from a pickle. It's more of a strawberry, but wherever floats your boat, you know what I mean.
Hey, you guys, she can't talk about this. That's patient doctor confidentiality.
You know what? I'm done.
Gotta keep it personal.
I have a crush. I've told you guys before.
Of course she does reviews and recaps.
I don't. I really like fine people. Like, I cannot trust myself. Like, if I'm amongst fine people, I have that kind of problem.
So you wouldn't want to review and recap him, Solana?
Nah, I would not.
Oh,
lies.
Hey,
No.
AGG, the truth come out. That's why she didn't want Cam to go last week.
Right. Listen, I was gonna say he kind of looked like Cam a little bit.
Oh, Lord.
Nah, the truth come out.
I'm sorry. Does it look like Cam?
Yeah, because she's still riding for Cam to this day. So
nah. You guys will not lie against me.
It's all
I'm just saying that.
It really is.
To be honest, amongst the men that came in this episode 1, he was the only one that was fine. And
I'll give you that.
I'll be sick to my stomach to find out I was left with pot-bellied guys. The dress senses, come on.
You left with pot-bellied guys.
Oh Lord! Let's move on.
So Lana, they need love too.
All of them had dad bods. She said she don't like the dad bods.
She don't like the dad bods.
This is gonna be such a good damn season. Oh my god.
Okay, yeah, let's move on.
So they played a game I don't know who thought about this, but I think it's smart because I can't be speaking to you and you're not
Hold
even
on,
listening
wait.
to
So
what
we
I'm
just gonna
saying.
skip it past the men?
Yeah, I ain't
What?
lying. You did.
Okay,
You
because
did.
we just went to Glen. We skipped past the men. Listen, because they did come in looking up. Those women were looking beautiful, and then the men that they chose.
Yes.
Come on, we cannot just get
Let
past that because that
they
was
are all here.
terrible.
Look at them.
She said, "Look." She said. She said.
Listen,
She sounds so
y'all,
so distraught. Just look at him.
really, just really look at them. Compared to the women, look at them. Look,
Yeah.
Demonte coming in looking like a bottle of Pepsi. I'm gone. Like this is not the way to do this. And you a fashion stylist, and then yeah, no, they could have did better.
Couldn't trust him to
Mm-mm.
start
Oh
with.
no,
See,
And
see, I
can you
would
see
have
that
done
he
some
had
blue
so
shoes.
much to say about what every other person was wearing?
Yeah,
I
see,
would
I
not
would have
trust him with my grandma's dressing. Like,
Lord.
mm-mm,
See, I would have done
mm-mm.
some. See, I would have done some blue dress shoes to complement the outfit. I mean, I get the fact that he got like a red tennis shoe to match the red, but like
Nah,
now with
the
a
entire
suit.
outfit is a chop.
That's why I'm saying, Solana, is
Listen,
that he should have got blue
That
shoes to
blue
supplement
look,
that.
was
look at
not for
him right now
him.
and tell me that y'all do not envision a Pepsi bottle right now.
You know what?
Hey, I got. I'm
How
kind of
could you
questioning.
have pot belly? The only button that could come together in your entire suit was the one in the middle. And then, come on, let's not even go
You
there.
know what? You know
But
what?
personally, I don't think he was there for the women.
Oh no!
Which one? Which one? The middle, Q?
I, no, I'm talking about my man who came in there dressed like a bottle of Diet Coke,
Lord
Diet
help.
Diet Pepsi. I don't think he
Lord
was.
help.
I don't think he was there for the
Lord
women.
Jesus.
I don't think he was there for the women. He was trying to love somebody else. I'm trying to tell you. That's the vibe I got.
I didn't say anything.
But yeah, they look a mess compared to these women. Like I don't know. Like this is just so wrong. This mashup. Yeah, Glenn definitely would have been a looker compared.
He wouldn't have he wouldn't have needed to do anything. Just stand.
Just catch.
Just saying, huh? Okay.
Just sitting there.
Imagine looking at this. I'm not coming for people's looks. I'm just like reviewing the episode.
Uh-huh.
Imagine walking to into a mixer and then you meet this kind of man. Let's be honest. I'll turn. I'll just go back home. Mm-mm.
I'll go back.
Now I go back home.
To be trying.
She would have got.
Because when
Listen,
I
she would have been
first
the one to
saw the
get the call.
women and
Mm-hmm.
then I saw the men, I'm like, this is scam. No, I'm about to be
Yeah,
Yeah,
disappointed.
I agree.
yeah, definitely. I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a scam. But let's just go into this. They're dressing aside. They decided to play a game where they are going to they were meant to answer questions pertaining to what the ladies had told them, if they had even asked them anything. I was very actually I'm even surprised. I was not surprised at the top two. Neither was I surprised at the bottom two because it was so obvious that Laron and Dominic were really listening.
Mm-hmm.
Dominic ended up winning. That means it was not even in the running of being evicted. And the bottom was what's their name again? Jesus Christ. DeMonte and William. They got one and two. I think William was the one with two. DeMonte was one. Yes, that was
Mm-hmm.
out. What
He was
what do
too
you think?
busy thinking about how to dress those women and the men, and like,
Lord.
sir, you got your like it looked like he got his whole like he was just sitting there like, how can I fuck him up today? And then a Pepsi commercial came on,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "That's how, right there." They ain't
Lord.
never seen it like this before. Like I feel like that was what was going through his head, and then and is like in his mind, I feel like in his mind he got like little dancers that dance like P Diddy, and they say take that, take that, take that, take that. Like I like what is going
Yeah.
on? I don't understand what kind of lineup they gave us. And I agree
Lord
with your
Jesus.
review. Like they have to be trolling us because why? Where did they come from? Like
That's they don't
whose
even
Instagram page did y'all like? You know what? That's a good idea. Who did y'all talk to? And that was y'all was like high five. Oh, we got a good one. No,
yeah. Even through conversation, most of them really didn't have too much to say. It was
Hmm.
kind of disturbing. And then I hate falling into that trap of just trying to stay on the show. I'm not trying to get kicked off. Are you really there to
William.
love, or are you just trying to stay on the show? What are you there for? You know what I'm saying? Are you there to love, or are you there to stay on the show? Which one?
No, I totally agree with that. I think, for one, of course, we all know that this is on TV, so we can't ignore that. But also, too, your intentionality determines the strength of your connection to even stay around. Most of these people have never been on TV, so it is all new to them. But it's like what you said, Kim, what everyone's saying here, it's about your intentionality.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even though the camera is there, you don't say, "Hey, there's a camera," because you're breaking the fourth wall.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, and not to mention too, something that I think it was Alexis, I think if I'm not mistaken, she said something that was really observant. She said, "If you're coming to meet me, then come correct." With the tennis shoes thing. Now, I know that that
Mm-hmm.
is a suit
That was
style for
Alex.
some people, but she absolutely had a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
he
Absolute
could
good
have
point.
called
I
Donald
know
and got some loafers.
In the entire
I
outfit
cannot.
was not it. It was wearing chinos. He just picked up some pink shirt from maybe his chair, wore it. Then I was like, "Come on, you guys are going to a mixer. You are people really do not understand what first impressions really mean anymore. Because I'm
Listen,
not
I'm not
here
trying to be
here
rude.
to see the real you.
Listen, Fort
See
Worth
your
Goodwill had a sale and it was all
representatives.
there.
Boy,
Lord.
Gigi on one today.
She is. But hey, Q, listen. Speaking of Goodwill and Savers and garage sales, I did not see any fake red bottoms on the women. That's an
Thank you,
accomplishment.
Jesus.
Oh wow.
That's a good
Hold
thing.
on. Speaking of the women, okay, so at the mixer, did you guys see? Okay, so remember when William was telling Kanisha that basically she was stigmatized when she was talking about her marriage and her not knowing about her ex-husband
Hmm.
having four
Oh,
kids or
God,
whatever?
Yeah.
saying that I made like people like I have a
Are
lot
you
of
ready for?
friends.
Okay, so listen. Okay, fine. Because there was
Oh
something that
yeah.
I need to see. Okay, anyway, we'll go back to it. So let's go to the game and them not paying attention because why are y'all here? What's
Hmm.
the whole point? And even you wasn't paying attention to the women, and you basically talked about yourself. So how would you get to know any of them?
Mm-hmm.
And that's definitely what Demonte did the whole time. He reminds me almost of Red even though Red
Hmm.
was a comedian, you know how Red came off and was just talking about himself and his accolades and just hyping himself up so much.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Sorry,
the mind frame he got me in.
Red
Yeah,
was worse.
he was.
Mm-mm.
Red was worse,
Every
but
day,
still, like,
I'm a
yeah,
comedian.
this
Woe
match this
is
season is
me.
way
She
off.
called me she called my job a third job. Like Jesus Christ, shut up.
Yeah.
I'm tired. But yeah, after the game, Dominic was safe, and this is when the episode became very interesting for me. Let's start off with Will.
Yeah. Yeah.
This part made me chuckle a bit. So he's speaking to Alexis. Honestly, I was like, okay, you guys are saying something interesting. Then it gets to the job aspect. I was lost at this point because you were in the military, you're a comedian. You want to own a shooting range. You want to empower Black women. I was like, oh, wow. So what exactly have you done? Then he asks her, oh, would you date a man with kids? And she says, I would rather not, but it depends on the situation. Then he gives an example, which you obviously know that he was talking about himself, saying hypothetically, if he has like two baby mamas,
Mm-hmm.
nobody will be comfortable with that. Like, why do you have two baby mamas? If it was two ex-wives, I would understand. If it's two ex-wives, I
Mm.
don't understand. Let me be frank. Two
Like
baby mamas,
sometimes, honestly, two
three
baby
kids. Why?
like listen, now that can be understood and then also kind of a throw off just because there are people who have kids early who aren't expecting to have children. It kind of happens. So it's not something you planned, but you're
Mm.
still going to
That's
take care of
my
that child. And
nephew.
then later on in life, you might meet someone else who you actually plan on having children with, having a family with, and you have more children. So you technically do still have multiple, baby mamas or baby fathers, but it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's different than that stigma of, oh, you're just out here throwing that around and getting pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
opening your legs to just anybody. It's way different. So I
But
can
you
understand if that was
know,
his
if
circumstance.
a woman, I'm not going to take that. If a woman says she has two baby daddies, everybody will look at her sideways. But a
Not
man
really.
saying he has two
No,
baby
I mean, not
mamas,
really.
we try to rationalize it. Nah, I'm sorry. There are ways to prevent pregnancies, wear condom, so many
Hmm.
options. Why do you want?
Now, listen, if he was like that guy that was going around who has what, 7 kids with 7 baby mamas, who actually was going around saying how he's not going to take care of them because he told them he didn't want a baby, so he doesn't feel like he should be responsible for the kids. Like in that situation, it's like, what? No, that's nasty
I,
because you're still doing the act. You're not using protection, and just
I,
Right.
because you tell a woman you don't want to have kids, but you're still skeeting in her, that doesn't
I,
absolve you of your responsibilities.
I feel what Solana's saying. Solana's saying people need to be more responsible.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
absolutely.
So I agree with that, but I also agree with you, Gigi. Sometimes life just happens and things just go that way. But that does not exclude you from being ready to love. You know what I'm saying? At all.
Absolutely right.
Now in this context right here, when you got this guy pursuing this woman, and it just shows us, and there's nothing wrong with it. Some people prefer people with kids. Some people prefer them not with kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's just really what you prefer. You know what I'm saying? Really no right or no wrong. But at the time, old girl's like, nah, I'm not finding this attractive. You know what I'm saying? And him, a lot of times when you have a situation like that, when you bring kids into the mix, what you want to do is exclude is bring peace in the situation. After the fact of saying, hey, this is what I have, but this is also how things is getting taken care of. You know what I mean? And it's a blow that it don't show that part of the conversation in the mixer and in conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because it just make this man seem like he's out here all willy-nilly when you don't get a chance to really express, hey, this is what happened, or this is how things are being taken care of, or this is how I handle my business, this is how I date with kids. That's not being expressed, you know what I mean, in conversation on the show. But if
Right.
she say, hey, I don't want this, I particularly don't want a man with kids or with one baby mama, two, da da da, that's her preference. There's nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of women that might go. It's a lot of women that say, shoot, he got 3 kids. That's it. Shoot, I take that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some men got 7, 8, you know?
It's
Right.
about having a choice, honestly. Tell me
Yeah.
what it is up front. Be honest about it so that I have the choice on whether I want to deal with you or not. Same with me. I'm going to let you know up front what it is, and you have the
Mm-hmm.
choice to deal with me or not. It's all
Exactly.
about choice. Don't take that choice away. But when he asked her the question about, dating men with kids, basically she said no. That's not her preference. So if you tell her that you have 2 baby mamas, she's definitely not going to go because she
Mm-hmm.
already doesn't like the idea of dating a man with children. So for you to have, 2 baby mamas, that right there kind of took you out the race for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to that too, I think what people have to recognize is that You don't win Super Mario Brothers by doing everything in the first level. There are levels to get to, the final
Mm-hmm.
level. So I feel like with what he said, like, first of all, like, credit to him for being upfront about it. You know what I mean? But also too, in the same token, if you don't win that level, that doesn't mean you won't win another level. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? But hey, to each their own.
I think he was just speaking and saying things that it felt like the ladies wanted to hear. That's why he kept changing his job depending on who he speaks. Because he was comfortable telling April that he was a comedian, but then he noticed that Alexis was not filling the job. That's why he changed it.
Hmm.
Oh, your mic is having background.
Yeah, can you mute your mic, Q?
So that's why he changed his job. If not, he wouldn't have been telling us about the whole gun range, empowering black women to defend themselves, blah, blah, blah. When you've not done one thing, nothing shows that you are even serious about anything you are saying. You're just saying that to make me feel like, oh, wow, this guy is really interested in protecting people like me. And that's the difference between the aura between people. Because when you're talking to someone like Alexis, she seems like someone she can be jovial, but she's serious coded. So she wants you to have a job. She wants you to have a future. I don't want to hear your plans. I want to see you implementing those plans. And unfortunately, it just sounded like he wanted to fit in. I think that was the issue. Immediately he found out that he was at the bottom, was like, now I need to up this whole thing, whatever. It sounded like lies. It may be true, but whatever plans that will make me sound interesting, I'm going to say it out. That's why it did not sound genuine. Because if you really had those plans, you would have actually started with those plans.
Absolutely. Like, definitely. Don't tell me what I want to hear, and that's exactly what it is. That you can tell he's doing that because he's telling each woman something different, but then, like you said, when he sees that they're not receiving it in a certain way, then you want to bring out, okay, now you want to do this firearms training and it's for black women, and it's like, come on, you're putting too much on it. Like, that's great if that's what you want to do, but when Kanisha asked, like, okay, so what are you doing to do it, or you know what I'm saying, get it done? I have a friend. What? Your friend having a gun range, you said you wanted to own your own. So are you and your friend talking about going into business? Are you going to buy your friend's gun range? Like, what else is there in your plan? Like, how far in your plan have you gotten? Is this just an idea that you just came up with? Like, it's okay to have a dream and have a plan, but how far are you in your plan to where you're wanting to be? Like, let me know if this is just the beginning of it or something. Like, yeah, that just was too much.
Yeah.
But not, it was too much, but it wasn't enough. It was like you're putting too much on something that really is not something
It's
that's
not all
non-existent
that.
at this point.
But let's move on. So then Will speaks with Koisha. I'm pronouncing her name correctly, right? Koshia.
Koshia,
Right.
that's what it is. Koshia.
Koshia. Keep putting E before that. And then she starts talking about herself. At the beginning, they were going well. Then she starts talking about ex. They were married. And after the marriage, that was when she found out that he had 4 kids. And then he makes a joke saying, how didn't you find that out? Was the dick that good? And she got offended. Now, when I posted this, there were a lot of like mixed feelings towards it. I did not feel like it was offensive. I felt like his question was warranted. Because if I was in that situation, to be honest, I would have asked the same question.
Yeah, I was torn between it too because I was like, damn, that was one of those. When you hear something like that, honestly, that was kind of like a quick gut reaction. That was like well, damn, was it that good that you didn't know? Like, how could you be so blind to marry a person and not know they have 4 kids? Like that puts into question, like, how much did you know about them? And I have even more questions, like, how long did y'all date before you got married? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's questions. So, was the dick that good where you just was blinded? That would be my question. Now, coming from him, yes, it definitely could come off differently because one, we have said this before. A person that you like, you're not going to be so offended at what they say and do because you like them
Mm-hmm.
compared to someone you don't like. When you don't like somebody, everything is offensive. Everything's a problem. You will get attitudes just because basically they're breathing. And you're like, damn, like I just can't stand to be around you. So everything's going to be offensive. And I think that that's what it was there. Like she was offended because she really doesn't like him.
Or she may have been offended because the true reason is very embarrassing. What if it was a visa scam? What if it was a bombing situation? Because when you reason it, how did he get everybody to be in on it to hide those 4 kids? Did nobody know initially? Honestly, I can't just wrap my mind around it. I can't think about the reason and how that would have happened. I just can't. Because she met his family, you met his mom, met his dad, if they do not have that, his sister, his brother, his friends, before you got married to him. So, what exactly happened that you did not ask that very important question?
You know what? Listen, I be watching true crime. I love my true crime and I love, investigative shows. And I have actually seen quite a few people where you're like, this person's living a whole complete double life. They done told their husband or wife that their family's dead. No, they don't have any family or they're orphans and they've just always been alone. That way you can't meet their family and find out the truth. So there's people who will lie and hide their life to get ahead. Sometimes, most of the time, it's basically to scam the person that they're with or, to reap the benefits of whatever this person has because they don't have it. But I could see that, but still, it's like at some point in time, you're going to have to, as a woman, we're inquisitive. We want to know stuff. We want to
Mm-hmm.
know a lot of things. So when stuff doesn't start, is not adding up, your senses are going to start tingling. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
at what point did you it's just so many questions. I just don't understand how you could go so long as to get married and then find out afterwards.
I mean,
There
because
had to have been some signs somewhere.
the
Mm-hmm.
valid question is, how did she find out?
Yeah, I agree. But I
If
mean,
she
I
had
That's what I'd want to know.
answered that, we would have known the reason.
but I wonder why give that information out in the first place. Personally, you know what I mean. You kind of really on the rocks with old boy. You really just having a conversation with him. You're not really giving him that much of you that you've given other people. You know what I'm saying? My man, first off, you know what I'm saying. I wonder was just a defense mechanism to show him, hey, like why give that information? Why sit here and say, yes, I was married. Yeah, I found that he had 4 kids. I don't understand why give that information personally. You know what I'm saying?
To be relatable,
My man ain't never been married before.
I mean, Will?
Yeah, and Will a hot mess anyway.
Aside from that important question, he was out of line every single scene he was in this episode. Was acting like a jokester, could not take anything seriously, saying some nonsense shit. Honestly, he was speaking like an high schooler, someone that has not graduated high school, like, because the things he was saying, I would have been irritated. Honestly, I would have ended our date end there. It was just a joke to him.
He was.
Oh, I'm fine. I don't need to bother. I'm not going to leave. You're not all that.
Those characteristics are the kind of people that it chose is becoming repetitive. Because the first episode last season with Janelle and them, it was a dude on it that had 5 kids. And I guess he just broke up with his child's mom or his ex-wife that he remarried 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Then there was Habibi, you know what I'm saying? He came with all his foolishness. He's in the same, to me, the same vein as Habibi. You know what I'm saying? He really just there.
Habibi was funny.
And you think
Sure.
Habibi was funny?
And he can play a
Yeah,
saxophone.
I, I think we more. I didn't think we laughed at Habibi. I didn't think we laughed with Habibi. We laughed at Habibi.
but there's nothing to laugh at this time
Yeah,
around.
this dude is
Yeah,
just like, yeah, no. And
yeah.
then did y'all see the face she made? Because after he made that comment,
She
it
was
goes to
tight.
him asking her for her number and Instagram and wanting to stay in contact.
That
But
face
did
was
y'all see the
priceless.
face that she made to the camera while
Priceless.
he,
That
while he
was
was in the
priceless.
phone? I almost died
That was priceless.
because that face told it all.
The truth about it is that if any of these ladies met Will outside this show, they won't turn back twice. Once. Why am I saying twice? Once. They won't even give him the time of the day. That's what he needs to understand. So, as much as I say that question was valid, the forceful collecting of numbers from everybody saying, I want to keep in contact, blah, blah, blah. Who wants to keep in contact with you? They never said they wanted. Stop imagining things. Jesus.
Listen, he definitely has a. Q, can you mute? But he definitely has like he's not. I don't feel like he's really there for love. He's there also for some camera time and him thinking like he is all that, honey. I don't know who has told you that, but they definitely
He
they
and
needed
Demonte
something.
can be
They
friends.
listen. They needed a place to stay to. I don't know, but that is not. I don't know where he gets it, but still, no. I honestly I thought it was gonna be Demonte and Will, not William, but Will. I thought it was gonna be
I
between
was
those two.
shocked. I would
Cause
have
yeah,
sent both of them home. Straight up.
girl, both of them could have stayed in the car.
I mean, I
Like,
felt it's gonna be somebody that finds Will attractive. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be somebody that's gonna.
call
I
her.
I really feel like, you know what I mean, just because of
Hold
um
on. We didn't even seen a preview of the women that's to come. You really think?
Those beautiful women.
Come on.
Sorry.
I mean,
Mm-mm.
the only reason why it's a numbers game. You know what I mean? So when you looking at, you know what I mean, these guys, look how what's the guy who was on the chopping block last, the comedian. You know, Will like, dang, I know good
We
or
lie.
well. If you women are gonna sit there and look at guys and be like, women are gonna look at women, and guys are gonna be looking at guys like, okay, I know I got a better chance before him. I know I got a better chance before him. You know what I'm saying? We play the numbers game, but when you actually try to find a true connection with somebody, that's the hard part about it. You know what I mean? I think he'll stay on the show for probably about 2 or 3 more weeks, and then his time will come. But yeah, I think somebody gonna find him attractive to watch.
Yeah. So before we move on, let me read some comments from Instagram. I'll just read one because most of them are fast. Canvas 519 said she didn't know because her husband hid it. He probably lied, probably a deadbeat father that wasn't in his kids' lives. That's not her fault that she didn't know. That could happen to anyone. Hmm. To each his own. So now Damonte
But
is
hold
having
up.
a conversation with April.
Hold on one
What?
second, Solana. One question. Did she take accountability for not knowing?
Now she got offended.
She took no accountability for not knowing. Like, I could have done better research. I should have
No,
done this. I should have
no,
done that.
none of that was. No, she
That's
was offended at his comment, and
that's
that was
that's a,
the end of that.
that's a red flag to me. You know what I'm saying? If you want to sit there
She
and
she
blame
showed
him,
a lot of red flags in this episode. I'm sorry.
you said she did.
She did. And I
Ah,
will talk about the next
And
one
listen,
soon.
and I told y'all that she reminds me of what was her name? Tanquilla, Tranquilla,
to
Tequila, Tequila,
Taquila.
Tequila. Listen,
Jose Cuervo.
shit, tranquilizer. I don't know,
Oh my God.
But I felt like she was a bright spot.
She
Um,
but
was until she
she was.
started
But listen,
talking.
yeah, and honestly, and that's when not only did when she came in, I got a glimpse and she looked like her a bit, but then when she started talking and then when she got offended, and then seeing a clip of her getting all rowdy, and I was like, oh, okay. Because did y'all see how she was when I think it was Alexis said something about
Oh,
I
we've
think it
not
was
gotten there.
Dominique.
We will get
Okay,
there. We'll get there. Let's slow
okay,
down.
yeah, okay.
So Damonte starts talking about his life. What she asked him, how are you? How is your life? What are you doing? And he starts going on some soliloquy, talking about, at my age, where I am now, we're paying debt, we're settling everything. I wrote it down so that I can say everything the way he said it. He said, let's see, so I can read it word for word, bar for bar. He was like, you know where I am now. We have bills to pay. We have credit. It doesn't have a solid foundation yet. He has debt. He has credit to cover and everything. But that's why I am in life. I was like,
Listen, his conversation made just as much sense as his fashion choices.
I think people mistake being your original self and impressing somebody. I want to know your character. You should not be dumping all your problems on me on the first date. The first date is when I need to know if I would like you, if I would continue whatever is happening with you. So you coming on the first date telling me how your credit score is bad, how you have debt to pay, how your life is upside down. I didn't ask you for that. I said I asked you, don't tell me. You can tell me on the second date. You can tell me on a phone call. You can tell me something like, just don't tell me on the first date. That's why Every said his life is not in order.
I'm. It's two sides to this story here. As the person that's receiving the information, you can sit back and be like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? I see where you're at in life, and I don't want to deal with that. You know what I mean? Which really happens a lot of time when you out dating. You know what I'm saying? When you get somebody, like Gigi always said, the representative always gonna show up first. You know what I'm saying? For him to lead with who he is, it's just so much easier to sit here and say, hey, I want to deal with this or I don't want to deal with this. But I
But he
mean,
wanted to stay. If
that
you
too.
want to stay, your representative
Yeah.
would speak out. To be honest, everybody who meets me, I've told you
Yes.
guys, knows everything about me. But
Yeah.
there's a way you present it. Just from dumping all your financial issues on me because I asked you, how is your life?
Hmm.
You don't know how to hold conversations because I'm not asking you how troubled your life is. You could have just said, you know how life goes, ups and downs. You don't need to tell me how bad your credit score was. Just ask.
Oh,
Yeah,
see.
that I can absolutely get. Like, there's no reason for you to be telling me everything that, like, okay, if there's a lot of stuff going on in your life, there's a way that you can talk to someone when you first meet them to not only let them get a sense of who you are, but what you're going through without telling them everything you're going through. And if this is a time where you're meeting someone you're wanting to date, okay, yes, tell me that maybe right now in life you're not where you want to be, but you're working on it. And like you said, Sana, the second date, third date, phone call, text message, email me, you got my Instagram, whatever the case is, then hit me up later on as we're talking and getting to know each other, and then let's talk about it. Because there might be something down the line that, hey, I can help you with that. And because I'm taking the time and I'm choosing to be a part of your life and allow you to be a part of mine, whether it's just a friendship or whatever, maybe I can help you with something. Now, I can't take all of your burdens away, but there might be something that I was sent here to help you with. Fine. But that, first off, no, that's going to turn me off and turn me away because that's too much. Now I'm thinking that you're looking for a handout. Now I'm worried about, are you like, what are you really trying to do here? Are you trying to get somebody who's going to take care of you? Like, it's a lot. That's just too much. On the very first time I meet you, like, we don't even know if Dominique's your or Demonte's your real name. That could be your middle name. I don't even know your first name, your last name, nothing. But you telling me your credit score. You're telling me how you ain't really working. Like you, okay.
I wonder how did they get to that conversation is the question. You know what I'm saying? I wonder how did they get there? You know what I mean? For him to give the show that about him, like, you know, this is where I'm at in life, da 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 woo, woo. How did they get to that conversation? You know what I'm saying? Because brother-in-law was like, you they only show what you give them. So what made them get there for him to really express himself or say that part about his life? How did they get there is the question.
Funny enough, you may never know because maybe he was not even responding to that particular question.
And that
But
very well may be, but still the fact remains like that is not the time or place to be telling me, like, I guess if you're trying to like cram your whole life in one sitting and just focus on that, okay, but that still I don't feel like that's the time to do all of that.
yeah. So it was now time for the ladies to do their deliberation, and they all talked about the guys they didn't like, the guys they liked. The guys that were at the bottom was Will, William, and Damonte. Now, as the ladies were having their deliberation, Alexis says how she doesn't like Laron, and then we saw Koshia.
Mhm.
What did she say? Did she just talk about my man? You know, I can get down, pull. I was like, what? You guys know each other for 1 day.
Mhm.
What's all this attitude? Are you sure he even claims you? Because when they moved to the guy's side, I didn't hear him claiming her. So what's
Not
all
at
this
all.
behavior?
Not at all. And that's why I said she reminded me of, oh girl.
Janelle.
No, not Janelle. Well, yeah,
Tequila.
Janelle too. Janelle,
Tequila.
but remember Tunquilla when it came to Habibi, she was ready to get down because they was talking about Habibi and was talking about eliminating him, and she was like, "I'll leave tonight. If you eliminate him, I'm leaving too." And it's like, girl, okay, Like you just met this dude. And when they went outside at the cameras and they was talking to the guys, Habibi
Hmm.
didn't mention her.
Yeah,
So I was
not at
like, girl,
all.
you doing all this and he's not even claiming you. Same thing here. And I was like, damn, this deja vu. This has happened before.
I wonder what, like a lot of times, even on this show, a lot of people just try to stay on the show. I wonder is this her way? Wonder this her way of really trying to stay on the show. You know what I mean? Or is she really interested in that guy? You know what I mean? Like,
But I
I
think this is her because did you look at the preview for the season?
Right.
She
That's
fought
why I said,
again.
like, no, she's ready to fight and go to war. Now that, yeah, that's Janelle
like my
Auntie,
I
Janelle 2.0 right
I,
there.
I agree.
We're going to call her Janelle Quilla.
Ha ha. Oh,
Janquilla.
I ain't never seen
Yeah, John
nobody.
Quilla.
I ain't never seen nobody sitting at the pool, take their shoes off, stick their feet in the pool, get out the pool, put their shoes back on like nothing happened. I ain't see her dry feet off. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? So,
You stop it because I was looking for a towel beside her, like, where's the towel?
you know
Like,
what I'm
where's the
saying? So
towel?
I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I'm not understanding her. You know, I really, I want her to stay on the show because I can tell there's layers to her. You know what I'm saying? And that she has a way of communicating. I mean, when I seen her communicating with dude, and she was like, I tried to get in his space just to let him, you know, just to challenge him and whatnot. He let me do it. I don't think Buddy really knew what in the world she was going on. It seemed kind of weird to me, but her thought process behind it to me was kind of interesting. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I wouldn't mind seeing more of her, but at the exact same time, yeah, that's she don't know if she want to be Tequila or she want to be the other girl. She don't know who she want to be, but she got stuff she got to figure out too.
Yeah. So let's talk about the final scene so that we can close up the panel. So finally, they announced that William and Demonte were at the bottom. Demonte was evicted. So I have some sort of like they did or picked the right man. Will should have been the one going,
You just
but
don't like Will.
we are good with Demonte. It's not that I don't like Will. I
Listen,
mean,
I
he's
agree with
older
you because
than
I said
Annie,
Will and Demonte
but
should
he
have
behaves
been.
like a child.
Mhm.
Like you're armchair cackling, talking, forcing the ladies to give you phone numbers. Come on. The only issue that the Monte had was dressing horribly. Okay, I'm maybe not listening.
Yeah,
I'm maybe
dressing.
just thinking about himself. Oh, he has a lot of problems. Okay.
Yeah,
Exactly. Go ahead. Keep them coming. There's a lot.
he do got a lot. He do got a lot.
That was so funny. He only has, wait a second. No, he's
Yeah,
got a lot. Yeah,
he
go
got
you.
he got a lot more than just one. Just because he can't dress, but
Right.
yeah, he got a lot more other stuff going on. But I don't feel like I feel like it was almost they were at a disadvantage anyway because when you got four women making the decisions for 10 women, you know what I mean. I don't the odds of them getting it right. I feel like they just eliminated. Ain't no telling what the other six women who they would have found, who they want to kick off the panel. You know what I'm saying? Who they want to kick out. You feel me? So,
What if they just put the bottom ugliest at the bottom?
mm, you said the ugliest.
Yeah, they are the two non-attractive guys from the entire five. Like, let's just be real.
But I mean,
Well, and listen here. I'm gonna
but
say we'll still need to be at the bottom too. Then.
But Solana, this thing about it is the older you get, you know what I'm saying, attracting is gonna play its part. But a lot of times you're looking for stability. You know what I'm saying? So the older you get, you like, okay, I gotta find somebody who is going to be stable with me, who I can see myself growing with. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times the finest people in the world might not even be there. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So if they went off of looks, they did a bad job. If they didn't vet these guys properly, they should have. Because I remember a couple times. Look at Chris. Chris was last
I
season,
go
two
off
seasons
of
ago.
looks.
Chris is a very attractive guy. You know what I'm saying? He walked in midway through the process and he got eliminated. You know what I'm saying? So if that's their thought process,
Um,
you
Well,
know, it's not
my
gonna be
man
great.
must be fine.
hold on, but I'll still say
But
this.
for me, that's
Even if it is the fact that, women want security and all that, Will still should have been at the bottom. Whether it was the ugliest, whether it was, wanting somebody to be supportive. No, he was neither of those. So he needs to be, no, in the bottom. It should have been him and DeMonte. I feel, period. And I feel like if there was a choice for them both to go, that would have been great. If Glenn was there, maybe the possibilities could have been endless. And I think that if Glenn was there, it's possible that Will definitely would have been in the bottom because there really wouldn't have been anybody checking for Will.
But
So
but if Glenn was there, right? If Glenn was there, that'd have been six guys, right? Somebody still had to go home. Was this bad dressing Joker still the best worst was he the worst pick?
it would have been still, I feel, him and Will. So if he didn't go home, Will would have went home. And I feel like it would have been a good choice for either one of them.
And not the comedian? The comedian is sitting here telling us he got three kids, two different baby mamas, and he really don't know when his next paycheck coming.
But
Because he's a
listen, there's
comedian.
women, and Will is telling you basically like he's forcing you to give him your number, being creepish. Like he's not that attractive. He didn't have much going for him.
If she didn't want to give that man her number, she wouldn't have gave it to him. She gave that man. If
Wait,
she
hold
didn't,
on.
if she
He
really
he
didn't
took
want to,
he took her phone and put his number in her phone.
she still let him do it.
She did, but did you see the face that she made for the camera? Did
Man,
you see him take her phone out of his? Yeah, there was
that's
a
for the
lot. It was a
that's
lot, but
that's for
that
the
seems
camera.
like yeah.
That's for the camera.
Well, it could have been for cameras, but still, I feel like either way, they had the right ones in the bottom two. Demonte went, so we'll see what happens next week when they bring the other people on. Definitely waiting to see how the rest of the season goes, and I think it's going to be a good one this season. I think they got it right.
I
So
totally agree. I totally agree, Gigi. Yeah.
yeah,
Um, even from the setup of the show, you know what I'm saying, having two different mixers, having a smaller, more intimate crowd so people can actually get to know each other and vet each other was really dope. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad they actually took the
mhm,
time out to re-advise the show because it was kind of mundane. You know what I mean? Like even
yeah,
you know what I mean, you kind of know what was coming next. And you knew I didn't see this right here coming at all. You kind of knew what was coming next. So this is about to be a very interesting show. Even to the game they played. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And we
That
really
was
didn't even,
definitely good.
yeah, and we really didn't even talk about the women. You know what I mean? Because a lot of them women, they got upsides and they got downsides too. You know what I mean? So we,
Hmm.
I will get into the next show, I believe.
Definitely, definitely will. But I think that's going to be all for this episode and this review. So, thank everybody in the chat. Thank you to the panel. Make sure that you guys like, share, subscribe to this video. Make sure you subscribe to all of our channels. We have Talk with Solana. You have me at Queen's Tea with Gigi Nan, Braylon Lee. Um, Q, do you have your channel up yet?
No, it's not. It's up and coming. It's up and coming.
Okay, so you guys make sure you look out for Q's channel as well. And we will see you guys back here next week for season 10,
Season.
episode 2 of Ready for Love. Later, y'all. Peace out.
Holla. Take it easy.